If you're still harboring hate in your heart because they took the TV show Firefly off the air, boy, have I got the book for you. What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to present a review for a book that is part of a book tour that's hosted by the Escapist Book Company. That book is Wistful Ascending by JCM Berne. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you have seen me post about this book. Well, this one and the other two in the series. The third one was recently released, but every time someone tweets about reading one of these books, I am all over it because of the cover. This cover is absolutely amazing. Let me bring it in a little closer, see if I can get the glare off of it. Check that out. So the reason why this got my attention is because of this guy right here. I now know his name is Rowan, but I thought that looks like Uncle Jesse from Full House in a yellow and purple suit. Am I right? That immediately drew me in and I wanted to read it. But then I started actually reading some of the things reviewers and other friends were saying about this book, and superheroes in space? I had to. So that brings us to today, where I'm going to talk to you about Wistful Ascending, what it's about, what I thought about it, and who I think might be interested in picking it up. As I mentioned already, it is a space opera. It is part of a series. It's the first book in the Hybrid Helix series. There are 3 books that are currently out in the series. I haven't looked to see if there will be more or if it's a trilogy. After just reading the first book, I hope it's more than 3. I am in love with this world. I love the characters. This author did some outstanding world building. I know we're in space and you're thinking, what kind of world building can happen in space? A lot, as it turns out. Even though the majority of the story does take place on the space station that is named Wistful, who is sentient, by the way. We'll get into that. Just put that feather in your hat. Let's not forget that. But Rowan's job entails being around some of the neighboring planets, wormholes. You also get a little bit about other planets from his memories, things he thinks about from his past as we're going through this current story, which is really like a slice of life for Rowan. Rowan. You're hearing me talking about Rowan? Who is this guy? Rowan is a retired hybrid. He spent around a decade in service in the Imperial fleet for the Ildrak Empire. The Ildrak Empire is responsible for conquering half the galaxy that we're in, and we are in our galaxy. Earth is a part of this because Rowan is half human. His mother is from Earth and his father is from Ildrak. And the result of his parents having a child together is how Rowan got his superpowers. In his retirement, Rowan just wanted a quiet, simple life, and he got that through his work contract through Wistful, the space station. Simply put, he's a tow chief, second class. What does that mean? Wistful does not allow ships to drive up to her and dock a certain distance away from the station. The ships must power down. Rowan actually pulls them into the docking station manually using his powers, of course. So what is it about this simple life that's so interesting that the author wrote a book about it, a series even? I'll tell you. As Stan Lee says, with great power comes great responsibility, and that is no different for Rowan. A wormhole that was located near Wistful had been dormant for a very, very long time. Suddenly, that wormhole opens and a ship full of refugees comes through before it closes again. It is discovered that these refugees were the one who actually activated and opened the wormhole. So what happens? All eyes in the Empire are suddenly on Wistful. The adventure starts with this wormhole opening, and everything just snowballs from there. Space battles, it has them. Fights between the hybrids, it's got them. Mystery, a little bit of romance, friendship, found family, history. The author just really had a lot of fun exploring the kind of dangerous things that you might imagine finding in space. That, in a nutshell, is what this story is about. And I know you're probably thinking, you really kind of told us a lot. Are you sure you didn't tell us the whole story? Friends, I have only just barely scratched the surface for what you're going to get in the first book of the Hybrid Helix series, Wistful Ascending by JCM Berne. I'm incredibly excited to see where where this series is gonna go. I have a little bit of an idea of the scope just from getting some pieces about Rowan's past, because as is the case with any good superhero story, the superhero has secrets that he does not want getting out, but of course they do, and then we have to deal with the fallout. It's just one of those books where I loved everything. The characters are the kind that you instantly fall in love with, especially for those of you who love the found family trope. That is really just going to reel you into this story. The action, the adventure is going to keep you invested. The technology, the longer it's around, the more it becomes self-aware until the ships are alive. The space station Wistful is alive. I loved it. It's scary to think about because that's a fear of mine. I always have this big fear that we're just going to keep making these really intelligent thinking things and they're going to actually start thinking for themselves. Like one day I'm going to tell Siri to put something on the grocery list and she's going to be like, bitch, why don't you write it down for a change? This story is written in a way that it pulls you in from the beginning and it just keeps you going. It keeps you turning those pages. You don't want to put it down. I also did have a copy of the audiobook that the author provided to me, so I did immersion read. Wayne Farrell is the audiobook narrator for Wistful Ascending and he was amazing. His timing was just perfect when it came to delivering the humorous lines between the characters. All of the character voices for the different races, the aliens, were just wonderful. So much so that if I saw a book that I didn't know anything about the author of the book, but I saw that Wayne Farrell was narrating it, I would absolutely be inclined to pick it up and try it out. Quite obviously, I love this book. Who else do I think would enjoy reading Wistful Ascending by JCM Berne? Fans of Firefly. If you are a die-hard brown coat, you will really enjoy Wistful Ascending. Obviously, people who love science fiction, space operas. If you collect and love to read all of the different Marvel superhero comics, it gave me a comic book feel, but without the pictures. But the descriptions were so vivid that I was able to supply that in my mind's eye with no problem, which means it's a book that I think young adults as well as mature readers would absolutely love. Just get this book, y'all. It's such a good, fun story. I can't wait to see where this series goes. I am absolutely going to be continuing this series, so you're going to be hearing more about JCM Berne and Rowan on the channel in the months to come. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you to Escapist Book Company for allowing me to be part of this tour. I hope I was able to give you enough information for you to determine if this is one you'll be picking up. If you do, sound off in the comments down below and let me know that you'll be reading it. I would love to chat with you about it and get your impressions as you make your way through this story. Have a fantastic rest of your day, y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one.